Welcome to episode 3 of the Chaotic Podcast. Unfortunately, Cassie can't be here this week because she doesn't want to be and she's in a better place. She hasn't died, she's just in Thailand where they don't have to wear masks. We have a different co-host this week. I am Ashley James, your first co-host, and our second co-host has been banned from a month from the group for calling one of our commenters a little bitch. Oh, sorry, but that is true.
It is true.
Our other co-host is Vivian Chan, who recently got banned from Facebook for calling a chaotic member a little bitch for daring to ask if she can moderate something.
That's right. Hi, guys. I'm Vivian. If you don't read the rules, I will ban your ass.
Or get banned yourself.
Or get banned myself.
And introducing our guest today, he's a mentalist, and as our producers just discovered, that doesn't mean he's insane, he's just a bit weird. Please introduce yourself.
That's true. I am a bit weird. I am a mentalist. My name is Anthony. A lot of countries, I know mentalist means crazy people, particularly in Australia, I think, but I guarantee I'm not crazy. I do crazy things. So, yeah, I'm Anthony, born and raised in Hong Kong, lived in America for about 12 years, so happy to be here and meet with you guys, especially Viv.
Hey! All right.
Fuck you.
Thanks.
Good flirting, though. That's a good place to start. You just said you're a mentalist, which is obviously why we've got you on, not for your non-existent good looks.
Nope.
So, what is a mentalist and what do you do in Hong Kong?
Good question. Lately I've been saying I'm just like Simon Baker from the TV show The Mentalist on CBS, except a lot less good looking like you said, and I do not solve crimes. The long story is I basically read people and I whether it's by judging their body language, whether it's using my intuition, I get a good sense of what they're thinking and I make a guess about what the outcomes might be, and I also use my hypnotic powers. I learned hypnosis when I was a kid to influence people's decisions. So yeah, that is a short story. The long story is I spent a lot of time just reading books.
Fair.
So
Okay.
a nerd is basically what I do.
Okay. Yeah, a nerd. So from that, obviously, you got into mentalism in Hong Kong. Like, obviously, we know you're a mentalist in Hong Kong. What do you do in Hong Kong with those skills?
Yeah, that's a good question. So it really started, I mean, just take a big step back, I developed a lot of my skills as a kid when I first moved to America because, even though I achieved relatively good grades in Hong Kong in English, it's just different. Like when you go to America, everyone speaks English and you think that like your shitty little English in Hong Kong is gonna fly by.
Oh, don't worry. In America, they don't speak English. Let's be fair. Go on. I can see you do it.
I will hold my tongue until later.
Anyways, I got there and I realized there is a bit of a language barrier and I had a hard time communicating with people. Right. And I realized that even though English might not be my best skills, I could look at people's body language and make some sort of assessment and make an assumption and just try and join in and by just play the kids and enjoying their body language that way. So from that point on, I really started reading a lot of books and getting into close-up magic, card magic, and then when I got back to Hong Kong, I wanted to do something different, but I went into corporate at first and hated it, hated the life, didn't like answering emails, didn't like waking up to 100 emails a day. Every single day it's just 100 emails and 100 emails. So I quit, and then I wanted to chase that childhood dream that I had of being a performer, being on stage, doing entertainment. So now I do event entertainment for corporations, entertainment for restaurant groups. I do shows for patrons of a restaurant, and I entertain people with my skills, per se.
Fantastic. So to get you right, you escape the corporate world by performing for the corporate world.
Yes. Yes, if you can DM, join them. So I join them in a different way. At least now I don't have 100 emails, which is a little bit tragic. I miss it sometimes. So.
Do you really miss 100 emails each day?
Yeah, some do. Some of the email people I like talking to, but not everyone.
So they're emailing you?
Yeah.
Because instead of what? Opposed to like texting you?
As opposed to texting. Well, that's an interesting topic.
I just love having emails.
No. So I used
so Hong Kong.
So Hong Kong.
To take a little of a detour. I used to work in this industry called expert networking industry. It sounds really, really sketchy.
Yes.
It's not. I guarantee it's not. So what I do is basically I contact, and it has to, I guess, like really apply to how I use my skills as a mentalist. It's I basically I reach out to experts of different industries, and I connect them with clients who are usually in the private equity industry, the consulting industry, and I help them get answers that these clients need. So be it for like a private investment or a private equity trade, they want you to know some information about whether or not this is a good purchase. They would ask people who you should be in this industry or something in that line to make a better gauge on whether or not it's a good investment. Or if it's a corporate consulting client, they might want to look at like how can we improve certain strategies for the client. So they would ask, experts in some countries like, what are we doing? How can we do better? So
basically you do the job of Reddit.
Yes, that is true. Yeah, or when I was
What?
Get paid for that.
Yeah. No, they pay a lot of good money for experts who are you would never know. Like I remember I talked to people in the oil industry who all they did was like they're experts in maybe like some part of the value chain in the oil industry. Maybe they're an expert in transportation, right? All they know is how to purchase trucks, but people want to know how you purchase trucks. So we find them, we ask them, we make sure that they're actually experts. So that's where I have to make sure they're not telling lies, make sure they're not faking their way, just making that quick money and stuff like that. So it was an interesting industry. I get to learn a lot about different stuff, but it's a lot of interaction. Literally hundreds of emails and texts, and WhatsApp is always imploding. I'm always answering the phone and calling people in like 1 a.m. at night. So
Yeah, I'm getting bored listening to it.
Yeah. Well, you can see why I left. So.
Yeah, I'm not blaming you. I think it's been a long
time.
Sure. So you went from corporate world back to obviously, not as I say comedy, because that's how I know you, is through mentalism, and then you started performing. So like, do you have any good stories from like performing in Hong Kong, or any, even better, horrible stories of your tricks going wrong?
Yeah, well, it goes wrong a lot. So what I do is very different. What I do is very different from a typical magician, right? Magician, bless their heart, they're awesome. A lot of stuff they do have an outcome, have a set outcome.
I'm interviewing that. That didn't sound sincere. Why do you hate magicians?
I do not hate magicians.
You do hate magicians.
They are great rivals. I mean,
too?
no, they're not rivals. They are great friends of ours. No, magicians are cool. Magicians are cool. They are. If you want to make, if you want to pull a rabbit out of the hat, go for it.
There you go.
There's the tea.
If you want to keep like doing children's birthday party, go for it. I'm more interested in adult things like talking to people, making genuine connections. But no, I love. I'm serious now. No hate. I have a lot of good magician friends. I have a lot of good magician friends. Hong Kong is a great place for magic. There's a lot of good creators in Hong Kong. Yeah. Very world renowned. I love, sleight of hand. I appreciate dexterity. I appreciate that stuff. Yeah. But so there is no rivalry between mentalism or magicians or anything like that. It's just that.
It's fine.
Yeah. Well, starting now, you heard it here first. You heard it here first. There is a rivalry now.
We will start some shit.
Well, no. As I said, being a magician, the outcomes of how you do what you do, the tricks that you do, is quite linear. But in mentalism and mind reading, it's quite different because no one ever thinks the same thing. Right? Everyone has different thoughts. So the outcome is always the same, and I genuinely have to make guesswork and take a leap of faith and observe. So sometimes things do go wrong. But sometimes things go really, really well. And in fact, I think that the craziest story I've had was one time I did a show and I might have said something about like psychic powers. Or might have like claimed, or might have.
Reaction you got.
I might have made a joke about psychics, and I might have like said something to a random audience member that, oh, this and this will happen to you on this date. And after the show, I left the venue, and this old lady, an old American lady, was like really serious, and she really wanted to have a conversation about, about her life and death. She wanted to know about like stuff that I don't even know. And it really puts me in an awkward situation.
My
right?
husband.
Yeah, I was like, can you contact the? No, I'm like, no. That's not what happened. But basically, they really took me as a psychic and really think that I have extra super sensory powers, and which I don't think I do yet. So it was an awkward situation. I think that's probably the weirdest interaction I've had. not a lot of like fail. I mean, I have the worst show I've ever done is probably for my aunt's wedding.
Oh, this is
no.
going to be
Yeah.
Carry on.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Yeah, it was basically everything that could have gone wrong went wrong.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Don't be vague. Details,
Yeah.
please.
Well, it's my aunt's third,
Not that much
fourth
detail.
wedding.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you should have predicted
Oh.
that.
I should have known. Yeah.
Who could have predicted that was going to end badly?
Yeah.
I'll give you one wedding. I'll give you two, but the third time
Third
lucky.
one.
Like, come
But
on.
you
Doesn't
know,
happen with weddings.
fair. Yeah, fair. I think I should have known, but I knew that was a good one. I knew that was a good guy. You know, he's a Jewish American professor in marine biology.
Oh, way
Right?
cool.
Yeah.
That's a good catch.
Yeah. Had a little bit of an Asian fetish. You know, Asian
Oh.
fetish. So I think it worked out for him. He taught a class in Chinese history,
Oh,
even though
one
he's a
of
marine
those.
biologist. So I don't even know how that works.
That's next level
Yeah.
Asian fetish.
Yeah, I know,
Oh,
right?
there's so many of those.
I do not know what you speak
Asian
of.
history.
Yeah.
I'm-
And I asked, I was like, what's your credentials in Asian history? And he said, well, I read a lot. So I was like, well, guess what class I'm not
I've
taking?
read Harry Potter doesn't mean I'm a fucking magician.
Expert
know.
wizardry. That's what you're in now.
So what happened at the wedding that went
Yeah,
so bad?
so everything I could have guessed were wrong. You know, I was like, is the person you're thinking of Derek? It wasn't Derek. It was Lindsay or something like that. Just everything went well.
Lindsay.
And it would have been fine if it was like a casual performance, but it was a big day, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, you know, I ended awkwardly. I just went back to my table and ate whatever was there. So it was horrible. What else is an interesting failure? I think this is the biggest failure I've had, or the biggest mess up I've had, was for a very important TV audition in America. So it was, I'm not going to say which TV show, but I think
Okay.
anyone could have guessed.
Do they have talent?
Some do, some don't. Yeah. They might have buzzed the people who don't have talents. Yeah, so it was one of the things where I experienced where I always was like, you know what, I don't think this is for me. You know, it was so bad that I was like, yeah, I might just do business. And, yeah, but anyways, I had a conversation with one of the producers in America, and they were like, hey, like, come here, let's do a preliminary audition with the producers. We'll
Yeah.
fast track you. So I literally got there, and then I saw a long queue in a stadium, and then they were like, "You Anthony?" I was like, "That's me." And they were like, "Come." And then I just got brought in. And I was like, "Whoa, this is sick!" Like,
Hey.
well, I'm getting the VIP status, right? And something happened within the performance. They cleared a whole room just so I could do the thing, shoot a producer.
Yeah.
And something happened within my act, to my own fault, I think. So I messed it up, and whole thing just looked like I'm an idiot. I just look like I'm an idiot who claims that he can read minds or claims he can read body language, but totally can't. And I left the room. I was like, well,
These are show people, though.
I know this trip to New York is not worth it. So
bum.
I was on an Uber and I had a whole conversation with an Uber guy. That's how desperate I was, just to get my mind off of
Should at least have a good
how bad I
sandwich
messed
there.
up. Yeah.
Bum.
So that's probably the worst I've ever messed up, but carried on. I think 2 years later, I was like, I'm ready to come
You're
back
right.
and get hurt again.
Did you, so like, did you go to a class for this? Was there a certain academy for
Yeah.
this? Oh, cool.
No,
Good
well,
for
there
that.
isn't necessarily a class. I did a lot of readings. I think the biggest revelation I've had was when I was in 8th grade. No, 10th grade.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you have 10th grade in the UK, or you understand
Yeah,
what
form-
the schooling system's a bit
form.
I
different?
don't get it.
Seven.
Yeah.
It would be equivalent of like because in Hong Kong you S1, S2,
Yeah.
S3, S4 secondary. So I think it's your 5th year of secondary, is that right?
Yeah, fifth year of
it's
secondary.
S5
Yeah.
it would be
Yeah.
in Hong Kong.
I was in a high school, and I read a book called Reality's Plastic, right? And it sounds like a really scammy book, right?
It sounds like it was written by Greta Thunberg more than anything right now.
It sounds like it's written by a cult leader, but it wasn't. It was a book about hypnosis. It was a book about how you can manipulate your words to generate hypnotic suggestions. So I read it, and I tried it on someone. It didn't work. Keep trying for a year. It didn't work until one day, this kid on my wrestling team, like, I said something to him and he just fell into a trance. And everyone around me was freaking out. And I was actually freaking out the most, but I can't show it, right? I can't be like, oh my God, it worked. Finally, it worked. And this kid, like, was in a trance, and I whipped his belt off, pause, mega pause. And I told him that his belt was a snake, and he really believed that the belt was a snake, and he ran around the school building for like a lap, and he came back, and that was when I realized, like, you know, like it's interesting if you really have a sense of belief and you really manipulate the wordings of how you present something, you can mess with someone's belief system and really influence them to think of things that are not necessarily reality. So that's how I discovered the power of word suggestion, and that's how I realized there's something there. And obviously, after I came back to Hong Kong, I had a lot of mentorship and a lot of help from people in the industry, including magicians, so no hate to magicians. Some of the people that we know, like Stuart Palm.
We love him.
Yeah, shout out to Stuart Palm, who was a huge source of, you know, guidance and mentor on and off stage, and really helped me out, not just on like technical abilities, but on business, on mindset, on mentality. So the closest thing to a teacher was probably him, and he really, like, you know, helped me out. So shout out to Stuart if you're watching. Yeah. I don't know if that answers your question.
I just thought that was the weirdest way to win a wrestling match. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
It sounded like you were like, "Oh, I'll take your trousers off," and also it's a snake.
Yeah.
Oh wait, that sounds more sexual than I intended
It
it to.
didn't work. Yeah, unfortunately, I had a terrible wrestling record in high school.
Man.
Yeah, I think
Really?
I
Kept
lost.
trying to fucking hypnotise everyone.
Yeah, that was
It's a
not
snake,
the assignment.
but
Yeah.
not that kind of snake.
Yeah. Ooh. Yeah.
I've seen that video.
Plus 80. Oh.
That sounds like a porn category. It was just it's
Not
a
that
snake.
kind
No,
of
it's not.
No,
Rub it
it's
harder.
not.
It'll hiss.
Jesus, stop.
Never.
I think I've seen that video too. No,
God.
I think my wrestling record in high school was like all defeat except for one match, who was against a girl.
Bum, bum,
Yeah,
bum.
but I'll still take that as a win. So yeah,
Because you're a feminist.
because I'm a feminist, equal opportunity. You know, I beat her, I pinned her. So you know what? Let's go. Let's go.
We might need to edit
Yeah.
out. I beat
I
her.
think
Okay.
We can put that in.
we can definitely put that in.
Yeah.
What?
I didn't say anything.
So you do a lot of, you say at the moment, and I think we've talked about this off
Yeah.
camera, you do a lot of restaurant work. So
Yes.
two things I got there. One, who are the worst customers? Because we've had a barman on before that said like Australians are the worst. Is there any like you hear a voice and you're like, I don't want to approach this type of expat because they're all pricks?
Yeah, it's
British
interesting.
just needs sets belong.
That is such an interesting question, because the genuine answer is all those clients, customers who I perform at one restaurant or the other, or even at close-up events, are usually expats. And luckily enough that I work better with people who speak English than Cantonese and Chinese. There isn't necessarily worse kind of people. I think at some point back in time, I think the hardest people have to deal with are probably drunk people, overly enthusiastic
Also
people.
British people, got it.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
also, why do you say like, okay, so you're better with English? Is it because like Cantonese speakers don't really show their emotions?
That's a good question. I think that is that there's something there. Yeah, no, absolutely, absolutely.
Is
yeah.
it because of that? They're just
Yeah.
like, no.
I thought you had like,
Emotions,
Yeah.
no.
I thought you
Yeah,
had like 27 tones. Is there one of them not emotional?
Oh my God.
yeah.
Like, how do you wait? Because you speak fluent Canto, and I'm sorry to make you do this, but I do love doing this. How do you say six-dick dog?
What?
Six-dick dog.
Six-dick dog.
Isn't it like gow 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 or
It's
something?
9.
Nine-dick dog. I can't speak Cantonese. I'm an expat.
It's gao, gao, gao.
Yeah, because those are three totally different words.
Those are two.
No?
Wait.
No, it's two different sounds.
How long have you been in Hong Kong for you to not understand
God.
999 or
Honestly.
No, that's not 999. That's
Or-
trying to see. Even you can't tell the difference.
I messed up.
Not racist.
Yeah,
Yes.
no, definitely not. You get the unracist.
Just
part.
ignorant,
Yeah.
guys.
Okay,
Just
say it one more
ignorant.
time and see if you can guess what you said, because I want this on record.
So you want 9, dog, and penis.
Yes.
Okay, so it's gao, gao, gao.
I know what that's. I know what's up. I know what's up.
Now he's pretending. You couldn't have told me.
Hey,
Yeah,
hey.
I love
really?
the dick and
I
the
speak
dog.
Cantonese.
Oh, bless.
Don't flatter.
That's
Don't
true.
flatter.
Sorry, where were we before
Yeah,
I
no,
derailed the
but I
conversation?
think there's something there, Viv.
Right?
I think that, you should be afraid of performing to Chinese descent people or local people. I think,
Yeah.
and it sounds
Yeah.
racist, guaranteed. Yeah.
Let's go there.
I am
So you're
not
local,
a
not racist,
racist.
not racist.
Yeah.
I'm not racist, I'm local.
Yeah. Me too, I'm local. I'm not racist. It's okay for me to say these things.
I'll stay in the
Yeah.
I'll stay in the corner.
I think it's not. I'm afraid because I think that it's because a lot of them are skeptical, right? Like when a performer of any sort, or even like I guess even in comedy, right? You have to prove yourself that you're funny. You have to prove yourself that you can actually do what you say, and I think that they're a lot more skeptical than foreigners.
They're weird skepticism to me because they'll eat like snake roots
How dare
to cure something, but they won't take a vaccine. So
No.
it's a different level of skepticism. It's like, seriously, take a fucking vaccine. I want to go home.
Or eat snake root.
Or that, yeah.
How are we going to cure COVID? Yay!
Snake root.
No, there is, I think, it is an interesting level of skepticism. You know, you have to prove yourself, and you have to, it feels like, even from an Asian parent standpoint, my Asian parents, like, you're always not enough. So for a patron of someone who's watching your work, you have to prove that you can say
definitely an upbringing thing for sure.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. Like,
And I think, I have a lot of mental barriers as a performer. It's like,
Okay.
it's like you have to, you always feel like I'm here to prove, but I think the correct framework is like, no, I'm here to share. So sometimes I think the hardest ones are the ones who are initially skeptical.
Right.
They don't know how to, they're not welcoming a performer. They kind of want to just be judgmental. And I think
From
the other
the very
thing,
beginning.
the other thing is I don't particularly, I speak fluent Cantonese and Mandarin, but I obviously speak better English than I do because of my years, where I developed my brain was in America. And for me to have a casual conversation with someone in Cantonese, easy. I guess an intellectual one where I have to,
or emotional.
or emotional one, or one where I have to talk about my craft and perform in it, I'm still working on it. So, the other night I was working and I had 3 local ladies at a table, and it was a challenge for me because it has been a while for me to really genuinely communicate and speak in Cantonese and do my whole act in Cantonese.
Because they're women.
Maybe that's why.
You don't communicate well.
Yeah.
Where do you want to eat, Vivi? I don't know.
I want to eat at Chubby's Papa's. Shut up.
Chubby's Papa's is great, to be fair.
Great sandwiches.
Also, we're going quality. We're going quality goods on Thursday.
Oh yeah, that's
Quality goods.
yeah. Good. There are many.
I've never had wherever you named, but I will have to check it out.
You get free vouchers there. You work for them. We'll edit that out.
Okay.
The Black Sheep Group?
Yeah.
Who?
Oh no, they're not Black Sheep
Chubby?
Group.
Chubby's alone.
No, quality goods. We can edit this out. Sorry. Guys.
Sorry, guys. On a tangent.
I just realised he worked for the rival one. I thought quality
sorry.
goods was
We
Black Sheep.
cannot. Yeah, it's fine.
No, he works for Black Sheep. This is
No.
Honky's.
Beep.
It's okay.
They're in the
It's
Honky
okay.
group, aren't they?
No, they're in their own fatty crab group. Anyway.
But yeah.
Fun group. Okay,
When
sorry.
we were Singapore, resume.
That's how we edit.
Yes.
We've got to give something for Desmond to do. It was going too well.
All right. That's one of that's what I was thinking. Like, okay, you say you. Let's rephrase. Where are
We'll
we?
rephrase. Okay.
Yeah.
Start from 3. The hardest
The
challenge.
3
3
ladies,
local
yes,
women, and
yes,
we'll just cut
yes.
out the sex.
Chinese women. Yes.
All right.
Start from that.
Yeah. So I performed recently for a group of 3 local ladies.
Yeah.
It was their birthday. Great event for them. And they really, really had a lot of fun. Like, they were taking a lot of pictures. They had a big cake. It was lovely. And then for every other set that I did, it was in English. It was super easy for me. Once I have to code switch back to Cantonese, I was like, how do you even say some of the things? And it makes me feel like, makes me feel like Daniel Wu. You know Daniel Wu?
Oh, bless him.
Yeah.
So cute.
Yeah. Early Daniel Wu, though. Early Daniel Wu.
cute. So cute.
Yeah.
What about?
Yeah.
So cute.
Do you know Daniel Wu? He's
You don't know who Daniel Wu
Into the
is?
Badlands, or he's in a lot of
dare. Oh my God, he's in.
You'll keep saying words as if I know what they mean.
He's like
You
probably
speak Cantonese now.
the star of like Hong Kong cinema for like a long while, and it's
Hong
like
Kong has cinema?
No, it's not.
I'm joking.
He is.
Also, thank you.
Sir.
Because I look bad and ignorant, and you're like, no.
But bless him. Yeah,
yeah.
you feel
What
like
would you
him.
say? He's like a sex symbol of sorts.
He was during my
He's like a
teenage
B-level
years.
actor.
A B-level actor.
But he was very
He's
cute.
like
He was
a
like one of the
D
first
level.
mixed ones
He's like a
that was
D level
modeling,
actor.
but also had a lot of films. Anyway.
Yeah. And early days, Daniel Wu didn't have any Cantonese, right? And he would
No,
just throw in a lot of
zero.
English to
Yeah.
explain himself, and that's
Yeah.
how I was. I can't even say like pick a card, right? I can't even say like I have to say put in some weird English words, and then I have to like.
Do you mean Chinglish? Do you sometimes go into Chinglish?
Sometimes I do. And you know
I
what?
do that work, and you sound so racist if you're a white guy
But
doing
it's
it.
better.
It's like,
it's
pick a
just
card, what's that
easier to
Cantonese? Pick
understand.
a card, oh
Pick
no.
a cat.
Pick a card.
Pick
yeah.
a card. There you go, I translated it. There you go.
But sometimes you have to tap into your
Yeah,
Chinglish
for
or whatever
sure.
the variant is. Even in Indonesia or in Thailand, you have to speak with that dialect or an accent,
or
and then
accent.
magically they
understand.
you, right? It's like, what's going on? You didn't understand me with perfect English, and you understand me with like a bit of fake accent that I sound racist using.
It's like when you talk to French people, you have to be a pretentious prick.
But
Yes, you do. I can verify. Yes. So
His missus is French. I
Huge
was going to pick up
comfort
on
zone.
that.
Yeah.
later. What is your opinion on French people?
They're okay. Sometimes they are a bit
Get
too
out.
much. Yeah. Cut that out, I think. Don't want to get mad at the French people.
Oh no, don't worry. They don't watch. We've tried to force them out.
Yeah, we did.
They don't make
Once,
it this far.
yeah. But yeah, so it's very difficult for me to do it. I think the level of difficulty is like Cantonese, right? Super difficult for me to use Cantonese to do my whole job in, and then Mandarin, a lot more difficult. But I would say, however, people who are Mandarin speaking or from China are generous tippers. Generous tippers. So they are, there's a change of perception there. They are appreciative of your craft if you're able to communicate and touch base with them.
And I do appreciate your positivity, but it's my job to bring it back to negativity. Who are the worst tippers?
Who are the worst tippers?
So you've got mainlanders as the best tippers.
Depends where you're at, right? Like I really think it depends where
Hong
you're
Kong.
at.
Depends on what kind of
Hong
restaurant
Kong.
you're at, or
Yeah.
Gotcha.
It's the British, isn't it?
I don't know.
It's a Cantonese.
I don't know.
It's the Cantonese.
I used to work.
To be the worst tipper, they would have to tip.
Yeah. I used to work at a now defunct establishment doing the same thing, reading minds. And I think the people who are more skeptical or more conservative in pricing would probably be, I guess, like middle-aged locals, right? Like in that bracket. I don't know if that's, but younger people are usually quite good. Like younger.
Phoebe, which are you? Are you younger or middle-aged?
Yeah, what are you? Probably young, right, Viv? What are you,
Thank
21?
Thank you, Anthony. Why, yes, I am.
Twice over.
Why, yes, I am.
Yes, we'll just admit that you're 21 years old. Yeah, I think usually, oddly, I think kind of counterintuitively, the younger they are, the more generous they are sometimes. So.
Do you think it's because they appreciate people who are honing their crafts, or do they just want to show off?
I think that's it.
Huh?
Maybe if you were with a date, you have like a gorgeous guy or girl next to you.
Yeah.
You're like, you know what? I got money. Made some money from my crypto wallet.
You've
Here's-
entertained
yeah,
me.
yeah.
That's why
yeah.
I take all of my dates to Mr. Wong's. Genuinely true.